I'm not touching that. How you doing?
They gave it to me back there.
You all right?
I'm good. How are you?
You have to. What is today? Thursday? Do you have to be in the theater?
I do right after this.
Right. And how do you feel now? How many shows have you done of Mice and Men?
I think we're coming up on 60, like including previews.
So you're probably feeling pretty confident, pretty routine about the performances now?
Yeah, I am feeling confident about it. I mean, I guess we'll go through phases, you know. Right now, I'm still excited. It's still like a new thing for me because there's a live audience,
right,
which is one of the big differences between film and theater. I'm sure, like, I don't know, performance 150, maybe it'll feel a little different, but I'm so happy I did.
Are you surprised at how different each night is? The energy is different from night to night to night?
I mean, it is different. You can tell, like, oh, that's a strong audience. They're with us. Or, you know, sometimes at matinees, they'll bring in, I'm happy that they do, but they'll bring in, like, student groups, and you can tell, like, oh, they're... No, I love that the students come and watch, and they're, you know, they're very engaged, but they laugh at strange moments.
Sure.
Or, there's a scene, I won't give it away, but no spoilers, but somebody dies, and I'm supposed to walk out slowly and examine the body. It's a very serious moment. And I swear during one of those matinees, somebody went, woo, woo. But like, quiet enough that I wasn't quite sure. And so you want to like...
You can't, though, can you?
No,
you can't react. That's the thing. That's the discipline of theater.
It is the discipline.
You just got to keep going.
It is the discipline.
Yeah, and then also, here's what I heard, that in addition to doing the regular Broadway schedule, which is brutal, it's like 8 shows.
Well, I mean, it is brutal, but on a film, you work 12 hours a day. And I know there's downtime on that, but it's still like a long stretch. Here, it's almost like you. It's like I know it's there every night. And it's almost like getting on a ride. You get on, and then before you know it, you're off.
Right. This is no ride, my friend. This is the real deal.
Well, I'm also not doing it for what, how many decades?
But then you fly to California and you're teaching a class in dramatic arts. Do I have that right?
I'm teaching 3 classes.
But so you fly to the West Coast?
I do fly to the West Coast once a week. I teach 2 classes at UCLA and 1 at USC. And
then you fly back?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's not. It's actually, no, it sounds like it would deplete me, but it actually, I don't know, fills me up or whatever, because, you know, when you're in the entertainment industry, when you start off, you have to work so hard just to make it. And inevitably, you spend a lot of energy just working on yourself, and just because you have to.
Sure.
And then when I got to a certain point where I thought, you know, I'd done enough that I was really happy and proud of enough things that I, you know, would be proud of all my life, that it was time to kind of give back. So when I go and teach, it gives me a little relief from myself.
Good for you. We'll be right back with James Franco, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Well, I was impressed about this Palo Alto. This is a great thing. This is a collection of stories you wrote.
Yeah.
That's now being turned into a film.
Yes.
You will be in. Now, did you help with the directing of the film?
No, I produced it.
The film.
I wrote the book. It came out about 4 or 5 years ago. I just wrote it when I was at graduate school, and then when it came out, I thought, oh, you know, I thought about a movie adaptation just naturally, and but then I realized I didn't want to do it myself. That I enjoyed something about the collaborative process, that if I had somebody else, they could take my material into directions that I wouldn't have thought of. And I found this amazing young artist named Gia Coppola, who happened to be the granddaughter of Francis Coppola from The Godfather. And she had never directed a movie, but I'd seen her photographs, and I just had a feeling about her, and I just said, I want you to do it.
What is her relationship, and forgive me for not being able to figure it out on my own, but from the woman who created and directed Lost in Translation?
That's her aunt.
That is her aunt?
Yeah, that's Francis's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now tell me about your affinity, and I'm sorry to be jumping all around here,
Sorry.
with the Instagram activity.
All right. You've been following me, or?
Well, I know now. Today more about it than I knew before, and it sounds like you're a big enthusiast. What do you do? You take pictures of everything in your life. What do you?
All right. There's a lot to get straight here, and I don't even know if we have time. But to me, it's just a fun thing. It's it's something I don't put a ton of thought into, but it gets a lot of attention. I have a lot of followers on Instagram. Now, the positive side of that is these are people that are interested in me and what I'm doing. So if I have something like a book come out, I can announce that, and all these people that are interested in me will know and hopefully, buy the book. What I've found, and I wrote an article about it, is, they can rate what they like they do likes. So the thing that gets the most likes are selfies. It's not that I enjoy posting pictures of myself or whatever, but I just know that that's what gets attention.
Okay. All right, so now, give me, in what kind of number?
More than a book. I mean, if I put my book on there, I'll get, 20,000 likes. If I put my face on there, I'll get 80,000. If I put my naked chest on there, I'll get like 200,000.
Really?
Yeah.
So you have had that kind of response. 200,000 would be a typical.
I'll tell you, the record breaker was me and Seth cut onto Kanye and Kim's face on the Vogue cover. That was the record breaker.
How many was that?
It was 200 something. I mean, I don't have as many followers as like Justin Bieber, but I have a couple million.
And wow. And you do this, you refresh the image how many times a day?
Oh, well, you just post new images. Well, I got a little addicted, so I was like putting, I don't know. People get mad because they get announcements when you post stuff. So
why would they get mad? I don't understand.
Because they're like, oh, you're clogging my feed or whatever. So they, so you should just do like one a day. I think Bieber does like one a week or something. He doesn't have to, clog it.
But so how many does it? What kind of traffic does it take to clog? Is it like closing down the George Washington Bridge? What are we?
Like they'll start getting annoyed if there's like 5 a day.
5 a day.
They'll get annoyed. Yeah, you'll start hearing about it.
Because I'm thinking my son now loves taking pictures with the camera.
Yeah.
So that would be an application for the Instagram. If we had one we liked, we might Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, we have one of you here.
Okay.
Explain what you're doing.
Careful.
Yeah.
All right.
James.
Awful.
James, why? Honest to God, why? I mean,
all right. Now there's a lot to say about that.
First of all, let me just say, there's not a person in this room who hasn't had their hand in their own pants.
Exactly.
That's number one.
That's number one.
You just showed Doogie Howser. He was showing more than I did. You just showed Doogie Howser on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Right, I know.
Showing more than I did.
But now, what is the thought process behind taking a picture and Instagramming it out there? What? Oh, I wonder if the folks.
That one, okay, that's a special one. I got in trouble for that.
That's for Mother's Day. That's what it is.
I got in trouble for that one, and I took it down. People didn't like it, and I still don't know why, because I haven't read the responses, but my guess is that I look so scary in it. I look like, it's like the Geraldo Rivera, I think, did one similar to that, and it's really spooky. But, why is that any worse than what Doogie Howser's doing, or David Beckham on the billboard, showing his bulge up on a billboard? Like, why? And it's like context and it's attitude. And part of mine, I think, was like that Britney Spears shaved head moment, where it's sort of like, all right, you want me here, you can have me, but I'm going to be really ugly. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little, no, it's a big thing. No, it's sort of like, it's a little bit of self-hatred, but it's not hatred of myself, it's hatred of like the public self, in a way.
I hear what you're saying.
I'm breaking it down for you. Breaking it down for you.
Yeah, but there, I mean, I have, you know, look, I don't care what you do in your underpants. I just...
Well, that's the other thing. It's not like I'm, like, putting that on billboards. Ostensibly, Instagram is for my fans, but, you know, now all the bloggers are following me on there, so they'll just take it and use my images for whatever they want.
Right, but you will be the first to admit, looking objectively, it's provocative. Here's
But
a guy...
I didn't ask you to look at it. I just... it's what the people want.
Why is it my fault? How did this become... Why is it my fault now? I had nothing to do with this.
If you don't want to see it, don't follow me. Don't follow me on Instagram.
Let's talk about the Palo Alto, the movie. So, some of these stories, autobiographical, some of them combinations of stories of other biographies, kids you knew, stories that could have happened, maybe it didn't happen, but it's a collection of essays about adolescent life in Northern California.
Yes, yes. I grew up in Palo Alto in the mid-'90s, and yeah, like any fiction writer, you know, I used some stuff from reality, made up some stuff, recontextualized it, and some of it's pretty dark, but the idea was to not do a kind of a social expose of what it's like to live in Palo Alto as much as give an impression of how intense it can feel to be a young person and coming of age. And
well, I'm sure this has universal appeal.
Yeah,
I mean,
so.
young people are young people, regardless of where they're growing up.
Exactly.
Let's take a look at a clip here from Palo Alto. It opens tomorrow in New York and Los Angeles. Palo Alto.
Let me,
What is the
let me just
context
contextualize that real quick. There's a dark storyline in the movie where a teacher has a relationship with a student that is very, very loosely based on something I heard about happening, and so I put it in the book just because I thought it was important to talk about. And since I did, you know, a lot of people have come up to me and said, "Oh, that's something like that happened in my school," or in a few sad cases, something like that happened to me. And so it was important for me to tell about it. Then Gia, I didn't intend to be in the movie, but Gia, the director, asked me to play that part. It wasn't a part I was dying to play, but I wanted to support the movie and help the movie, so I did it.
Now, you brush up against another question regarding the underpants photo.
That's all we really should be talking about, is this.
Of course. So you fly out to teach these classes at UCLA.
Yes.
And is it, hey, there's our professor, Dr. Underpants. Do these kids...
They all do it themselves. I mean, you go on, you know, these kids are posting, you know, worse things than I'm posting, so like...
Who here has Instagrammed a photo of themselves in their underpants?
Well, you got an older crowd here. I mean, this ain't the Instagram crowd. How many are even on Instagram here?
Palo Alto. You can see it beginning tomorrow in New York and LA, and then it goes all across the country. Good to see you again,
All right,
James.
man. Great to see you.
Thank you for being here. James Franco, ladies and gentlemen.